Hey guys, Megaton Menace here, back with another video. So once again joined by my friend Asir, and today we're going to be watching RWBY Volume 8, Chapter 11, 19-minute episode. So I do think that the main focus of this episode is probably going to be our heroes sitting around Schnee Manor talking about what they want to do about Ironwood's ultimatum and making the decision at the end of the episode with no action of any kind. That's probably what this episode's going to be.
It's pretty long for that.
Yeah, it is. It is. But it's also true that, it's also true, though, that, RWBY and Yang, who have been separated all volume, are at the same place, and then Ren will probably have a conversation with Nora about the fact that she got all fucked up by that lightning. And I don't know, I guess, and if there is action, it might, maybe they'll finally have Penny wake up and start going on her rampage, I guess. And also, in addition to that, the fact that both Emerald defecting and Cinder interacting with Neo about the lamp will probably also be pretty big parts of this episode.
Okay, that makes sense.
So, also, I have no idea when it's going to happen. Basically, Pietro and Maria have been off screen long enough that I definitely would like to see what's going on with them and what they're up to. I also, in addition to that, Winter and Marrow are both characters that I feel like could defect from Ironwood at any time now, because they're both good enough people that I could easily see them being like, no, I'm not on board for this bomb mantle bullshit. And that could be interesting. And what's crazy is that Hare and the other two Aesops seem to be on board enough that we could maybe get a Winter and Marrow versus the other three Aesops fight if they do defect. And then there's also Crow and Robin are also running amok because they broke out of jail and they were fighting Atlas Guard. So even that might get some focus, because we haven't gotten we have not gotten anything of substantial meat from them in quite a while either. Mm-hmm. So I think that basically covers everything that's going on.
Cool.
So I guess I'm ready to dive into it if you are.
Let's do it. Thanks everyone for joining us.
Yes, indeed.
Gotta try and make a point to talk over the intro.
Yeah.
No copyright claims.
Yeah. That hasn't been a problem at all this volume. Well,
that's good to know.
Copyright has, but not for the intro.
Not for the intro.
It's pretty consistently, it's just after like 48 hours it's been getting unblocked, which is nice.
They've definitely, with that clip right there, which we've seen every intro,
Yeah.
they really are foreshadowing, I guess, a square off between Harriet and Crow.
Yeah.
Because they're sharing a leaf of the clover for a reason.
Yeah, that's true. And there was also that they did have a verbal bout briefly when Crow was in jail a few episodes ago. I say a few, but it was probably like 6 or 7 episodes ago at this point.
Right. Well, I do think also, even though it's weird, it was just a short break, but the break definitely has made this season feel
way long.
Right. And then they also took a break because of an unexpected
because of
delay.
More
accurately,
because of the Texas snows. Exactly. Like Volume 8 totally feels like 2 volumes because of the 2-month gap.
I see it. Happy ever, never after again.
Yeah. Could mean everything or nothing. I mean, it's definitely currently leaning more toward the darker meaning, but okay.
If anyone tries anything,
I like those because they look a lot like the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, that's what they're based on.
Yeah, they do justice.
I hope you live up to the title I gave you.
Sorry, what were we going to say?
Just that when the bomb went off before, it looked like it wiped out a whole bunch of the Grimm that were in the city, so I'm surprised to see that there's already that many back in the city.
A Of course he's not going to do it.
So what? He's bluffing? With the whole
We
city?
should put subtitles on.
They
We forgot.
Finally push the kids
I'm on
to see
it.
reason.
Sorry, guys.
Who cares?
Good. You're here.
Awesome.
Let's also
Just guarantee it's high quality. It's gonna load.
I
It's
need
gonna
a
load for
squad
a
of
second.
drones
Yeah,
and
now it should be
standby
fine.
to
Worth
drop the
it.
payload.
Yep.
Sir, what
And that's
for?
another question though, because like,
I believe I was clear in the
if
broadcast.
he says push the
If they
boom
give me
boom
a
button,
reason,
who's actually
I'm
gonna
gonna
be
remove
like,
Matt from the
yeah?
equation.
Because someone has to push the button if
This
he gives the order.
is how we save
Right.
Atlas.
Okay. The hammer chick looks a little worried too. That's a good sign.
You call this saving Atlas? Doing Salem's job for her?
Mm-hmm.
I believed in you.
Good.
I thought we could work towards something better.
yeah.
But now you're throwing it all away.
Good.
Uh-huh.
If you don't shut your mouth, I'm going to do it.
Shut up.
If this is what gets the children to cooperate, then it's worth it.
I
Yeah.
don't like this either. But
Okay, so they're
the
splitting
top
them in half.
priority is-
Do you even believe what you're saying anymore?
Hammer's more on the fence
Do
than
any of
Marrow,
you
but
believe
still.
in anything? I used to wear this rank with pride. Now I see it for what it really is. A collar.
Yeah. Oh, okay. No, like I'm gonna. She technically just saved him.
Yeah.
I'll throw this traitor in the brig
I don't
where
believe
he
you.
belongs.
I hope you're bluffing.
I think it's very likely. I also think, like, bro, you could have used your semblance and got the fuck out of
You
there.
He definitely could have.
He definitely could have.
Ironwood wants Penny.
Yeah.
Otherwise, Mantle is done for. So, how do we stop him?
Crow and Robin are still in his custody. And May said
No,
that
they're
the
not.
drones are watching the crate.
Yeah.
I never noticed that.
So
Yeah, they've been there
they're
for
trapped too.
volume and a half.
Salem isn't going to stay gone for much longer.
So then, it's
Unzip.
impossible.
Mm-hmm.
See? If Miss Hero with all the answers doesn't have an answer, then we have ours.
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay, then why don't you just leave?
Can we
No,
please just give each other a chance?
she didn't do
The world's
anything
not
wrong.
with Salem anymore. And Ozpin is back.
Yes.
All of this doubt and worry and distrust, it isn't getting us anywhere.
Then nothing has changed!
Yeah.
We're in the exact same place we were yesterday!
Well, you've done nothing since
Arguing
yesterday,
over
so
what to
of
do while
course.
the kingdom waits to die.
You've literally been just sitting in Shitty Manor for the last day.
Whee!
I'm doing nothing and nothing is changing. Wow.
Sad but true. I mean, it's understandable to be emotional, but like,
Glad you're all right.
ultimately they have to start doing something.
Yep.
Oh, man, I'm so glad he's
No
getting
matter how
better.
much I boost you,
Yeah.
they won't go away.
I mean,
Don't
he's
apologize.
competent. It's
I got
unfortunate
hurt doing what I always do.
that he's, I guess, not
Just
a healer
another
still.
ditzy move from Nora.
Yeah. It's
He's
like
a booster,
it's one of
not a
those-
healer.
It's one of those things where like he's
How
not
would you
officially a
know?
healer, but he does
We were
heal.
supposed to be a
Dude,
team,
shields are
but that
different
didn't matter to
than
you.
heals.
Yeah.
When things went wrong, you pushed us away. You shut people out so you don't have to feel things that are hard.
Yeah, but he grew a lot
While
when you were
gone.
separate.
But he also has grown enough to know that he's just like, I'm gonna be quiet.
You're right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say
I
you're
should be
right.
apologizing.
See, he fucking Ren, dude, never lets me down.
Yeah.
I lost Oscar.
Bro.
I said terrible things.
Yeah. But then you grew because of it.
Angry at myself. For not being as good as the Aesops. For what happened at Robin's rally.
Yeah.
For losing the lamp. I thought if I just
Bro.
focused.
You the best,
working harder,
dude.
Yeah.
getting stronger,
Him and
that
Oscar
we-
are both like some of the best
I-
characters in the show.
wouldn't fail.
Yeah.
But my biggest failure was as a teammate.
I definitely think Ren's
And as a
probably
partner.
my favorite at this point. He just keeps never letting me down on camera.
Yeah.
It took a while, but like
water under the bridge, buddy. I'm gonna go see if
He's like, it's shipping time. Woohoo!
Ren, I just
Wing
wish
man.
Right.
I mean, why didn't you say anything? So we failed as a team, but we succeed as a team too.
I was the one holding us back. Not John, not you, me.
Well, you're wrong. All I do is make dumb jokes and smash things with a
That's
hammer.
important in a weird way.
That's not true. You put everything you
Morale
have into
matters.
what you do. You support everyone around you. You help without worrying about how it might hurt. And that's what I love about...
Uh-huh.
That's why I love you.
Time.
When my mom ran from the Grimm and left me behind,
Yeah.
you found me. We became Ren and Nora. But I realized on this mission apart, I don't know who just Nora is.
Yeah.
And if I'm ever going to find out, then I have to do it alone.
Bad timing.
Because I've always loved you, Lyran.
Yeah.
Time.
And that pretty head on your shoulder seems like it's doing a lot better.
Just time.
I gotta get mine sorted out before I
Yeah.
can be the partner
Considering
you
that,
need.
like, a lot of people felt like that it was canon by, like, Volume 3, Volume 4.
It's definitely okay. Boop.
You get those hallway cameras on a loop?
Okay, that was kind of easy. I mean, technically they beat up
really
guards
gonna
and
do it.
got it from a locker, so sure, but...
Not if we stop him
Sure.
first.
So yeah, they're going after Ironwood. And it's weird, because, like, before last episode, I would have been like, no! But at this point, it does need to be done. But it's weird, because it's like, they established what Crow's path was, had like 9 episodes of it being the wrong path,
There might be a
then made it
better
the right path, and then had it happen immediately.
Well, this isn't just about you.
Yeah.
It's about everyone.
I'm going straight up to the academy.
You can't be
and
reckless.
I am ending this.
Or we fail and people get killed.
Yeah,
He deserves this.
it's not that simple, Crow.
And the fact that you're screaming in a hallway on a stealth mission shows that you should definitely have backup.
Yep.
Listen, I get it. You
He's
are
gone.
hurting.
Oh no. I
You've
just
been
told like he
hurting
turned into
for
a bird and flew
long
away when your
time.
back was...
But
But that
let's
didn't
stop
happen.
pretending that what you're trying to do here is for anyone but yourself.
Yeah.
Clover was a lot of things.
And
You
Gay
respected
wasn't
him.
one of them.
But I gotta tell ya,
Plus,
I
it's
think you're
weird
the
that
better
Ironwood and him never bonded as friends like
Not
he and
because you were the
Clover
one
did
who
the
walked
first time
away,
that they only
but
knew each other for like a short
because you were
period
the
of
one
time.
who
Yeah.
was fighting for what was right.
Especially considering that we've had scenes where we saw
Don't go telling
Ironwood
me that's
trying to
changed.
bond with Crow.
Plus, it seems like they were both. They're obviously both within Ozpin's inner circle
Yep.
at one point. So like there was definitely opportunity,
Yeah.
but instead they've always kind of been
You know,
adversarial towards
that
each other.
giant
even
hound
from
kicked
the
us
beginning.
around like we were
It's
nothing.
true.
But Blake said you and the Shanice managed to take it down.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The
Still
silver-eyed
having to
grin.
one up your big sis, huh?
Always.
Did she tell you what it was? Underneath?
Yeah.
You know what that means then.
Yeah.
I wouldn't worry about that.
That's what happened to Mom.
Yep. And you'll run into her eventually.
When I saw its eyes, I knew.
And it's why Tyrion
Salem
came for
used
you
to kill
alive in
people
Volume
with
4.
silver eyes, like Maria. But she's always wanted me alive. Why would that change unless when she met Mom,
She got a buff.
she learned she could do something new?
Yeah, basically.
Ruby.
We shouldn't lie to ourselves. I wasted our time getting Amity up, thinking help
This
would
is good
come,
character
but it
growth for
didn't.
her too, man.
Yeah.
And Amity fell. I was being childish.
You were being optimistic.
Same fucking thing.
Look, blind optimism.
There's a
is
thin
great,
line. There's a thin line.
The
but
thing
no
is that
optimism
blind
means we've
optimism
already
is the
lost.
problem.
Yeah.
But
But
she's
optimism
literally
is
saying
good.
it. She's literally
Need
saying
to
it.
take risks.
That's
But
true.
mine didn't work.
Don't be naive,
It's still
but
got a
don't
warning
become
out.
pessimistic.
Exactly.
They're not
Like,
called sure things. They're called risks. And in case you didn't notice, my plan for Mantle didn't work either.
Yep.
But we got Oscar back. And did
Yeah.
a lot more that was never in the plan.
Mm-hmm.
Mom took a risk the day she left. And I don't think it went the way she wanted it to. But she's still my hero.
That's crazy too, because like that's technically her stepmother,
Yeah.
but she's just like mom.
But it's also it's her stepmom, but it's also the one who raised her.
Right.
Delayed.
Yeah.
No, I know, but I'm just saying,
Exactly.
I'm adding that
Please,
context to the scene because
open
it's
the
there.
vault. I do not want. Ruby, stop me, Penny.
I must open the vault and self-terminate.
Okay.
I've got her. What do we do?
She can just walk around. I didn't think she was in that good of a shape. Yeah.
I must open the vault.
They're not gonna be able to stop her.
Not right now.
Do something.
We got a lot of grappling hooks.
What is
And that gravity glyph too.
Penny,
Yeah,
please.
and what's the most
Tell me how to
distressing
help
about
you.
this is that it seems like she is outside of control while doing the maiden, like while having
me.
maiden powers.
And I can make sure the power goes to you.
Ugh.
Please.
There's gotta be a better way.
Please. I cannot fight it. Yes, you can. It's just a part of you. Remember? If you were only a machine, you never could have fought back for this long. She's right. She's right. Shine! Booster on!
Oh! Oh, that's clean! It makes enough sense that we should have thought of it, but I also understand why we didn't.
I mean, that's pretty slick. I don't think it's a get out of jail free card. Like maybe this time, but
It might
it's still lurking. It's
Yeah.
still lurking danger for
Yeah.
sure. But that's
I stopped the virus?
No. It's still there.
Yeah.
But you've got an aura, Penny. A soul.
Yeah.
That's who you are. Our friend. Not a machine.
But theoretically, as long as John is down around, he could just do that every time she flares up. Like,
I
it
think you're
sucks and
wrong,
it's a short-term
by the way.
solution, but it could last forever.
I highly doubt you're in the same place you started. I mean, yeah, you guys have been getting your asses kicked. Some of that, my fault, but like, you're at war. You're gonna take
She's like,
hits.
pep talk. How do I do this? Is this
I'm
right?
going to be
I
super
think?
pissed if you all finally decide to give up the moment I switch sides.
Right?
Sides, huh?
Yeah.
yeah.
Or like, whatever.
A ship was born.
So whatever.
Would like to say something.
What I was actually just thinking is crazy, and they're kind of. I just think it's crazy how they've grown so much that like we're not even talking about the teams Ruby and
I was
Juniper.
recently
Right? And that's fucking dope,
reminded
actually.
of an old fairy tale. A young
It's
girl
just the
moves
squad.
consequences of a choice to a magical place. But having never learned from her initial failure,
Mm-hmm.
she only succeeds in spreading it. I failed all of you. I should have trusted you with the truth, and should never have run the day you discovered it.
It's like, you're right,
It was rough.
but you also
But
did have a valid reason
I think
for
after
distrust.
everything that's happened here, we understand. Trust is
a risk.
And it must be earned.
And I hope it's a risk you can take on me again.
You got a plan?
Because we could use
That sounds like you got a
those.
fucking plan.
I can still feel it fighting me.
Ooh, that did not
Can't
last
just
long.
Keep amping her forever.
Yeah.
We can't keep Ironwood waiting.
Guys, she has to go to the vault.
Okay. And then?
That's actually a risk we haven't considered.
Emerald! Anyone can be Penny!
She'll do it.
There's a lot of opportunities.
Oh, what are you doing? Something with an Elysian soldier. Knight. Paladin. Yeah, Elysian
Oh
Knight.
boy.
And Neo, yeah.
Is she just challenging Cinder right now?
That's the credits. Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of,
Yeah.
I don't know if that was a challenge or what.
Yeah, I mean...
Looked like one.
It did. Okay. Yeah, see, it's like, even though it was a long episode, I was like, it's just gonna be talking, but it's also gonna move the plot forward and go by quick.
Yeah, it was strong too.
Yeah. Yeah. And that... Yeah. It's crazy, because, like, it was a good episode and a lot happened, but I also feel like that there's not that much to say.
Yeah, it is kind of like all we can do is acknowledge what we saw that was good. Like, there was a lot of great character growth, but like mostly it was a bunch of conversation and still setup. We could definitely talk about what we might expect. Just get a visual on the screen.
Yeah, because that's better than just a black screen.
What we can expect moving forward.
Yes.
Which I don't know. It's really hard to say. Whatever Ozpin's plan. Why do you think they showed the zoom in on him, fidgeting with his cane? And
yeah,
if that was Oz in control, I wonder what that was. Because part of me thinks it was definitely a conscious decision to animate it.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I know that, but part of me thinks it's because he's considering whether
or not he should use the kinetic energy in the cane that wasn't used during the boom.
I was actually thinking of, unfortunately, how much he could tell them. Like, basically crafting a more exposed, like, a lie with more information. Because, like, basically,
that makes sense.
Like, I'm kind of worried that's what he was thinking, and that's what the nervous fidget represented.
Because he's nervous because he's going to tell them a partial truth, and that could blow up in his face later.
Right. It could also have just been him calculating the next move, the next plan, knowing that he has all these pieces now assembled. It's really hard to say, but what we do know is that the animators like wanted that fidgety tick to be there.
Yeah,
they literally animated it.
Yeah, exactly. Like it has a meaning, even if we don't know quite what the meaning is.
Right.
That's true. So yeah. So basically, so Marrow definitely defected from Ironwood. Winter technically is still up in the air, but I do think that
the next time we meet up with them, she's going to be telling Marrow her plan for, I guess, forming a coup against Ironwood.
Basically, yeah, and that she's not actually taking him to jail. Also, in addition to that, I feel like that, and then obviously John being able to use his semblance as a stalling tactic for Penny is good. And when it comes to this plan that RWBY came up with of like actually having Penny go to the vault the way Ironwood wants. It's like, okay, but like, what are the other steps of the plan, and how does it deviate from what Ironwood actually wants? Because like I'm definitely curious about Ruby's plan in addition to Oz's. It's also another thing that's also interesting is that for the most part, if characters die, they're put in danger in the episode where they die, and if they set up something as a potential, it's actually usually to establish that it could happen, but then it doesn't.
Are you talking about ultimately like Penny's fate?
What I'm saying is that, yeah.
Okay, because here's how I feel about that. I actually definitely feel like Penny's going to get out at this point.
I agree.
I think it's going to be kind of rough, if you will, maybe a bit of a struggle, but I think it's going to happen because at this point they're setting up a narrative, like moral of the story, if you will, that it's like it's the spirit of character that matters more than anything else. And because this episode, what they established is that Penny, the fact that you are an individual is more important than your makeup or the way you were made, or like
that having her not get out would contradict that message.
It would contradict the moral of the story, the narrative.
Yeah.
And so at this point, I think that she's got plot armor.
Exactly. And also, and what I'm also saying though is that Penny said that if she did die, she would transfer the Winter Maiden's powers to Ruby. Therefore, if Penny does die, the Maiden's powers will not be transferred to Ruby. Because if they were going to have Ruby be the Winter Maiden, they would have Penny die and the powers transfer into Ruby as in one fell swoop, so that it would have maximum impact. Because now that the idea has been planted, it won't hit home if it happens, and therefore it won't happen.
I mean, no, you're right. That is definitely possible, but
it is a leap in logic.
It is technically also possible. You're right, because they are technically also planting the seed of the other option, which is Penny doesn't get out and the powers pass. I think they could still pass to Ruby though, because I do think that would be another thing where it's like, it's the last person you think of, and Penny might be able to still do that in spite of Salem staring in her face and plunging a dagger through her heart.
Right.
She might still be able to think of Ruby.
That's
so,
true.
Like, I think that it's possible, but like I said, I really do think that at this point Penny is going to survive, because narratively it makes... to me, it's a more logical conclusion. They'll be subverting my expectations if she actually falls.
Yeah, and I actually agree with that, despite my biases. And also, another thing that I think is worth talking about is that there have been a lot of times in the show where, like, bad shit happens, but Ruby, because of being optimistic, has been able to brush it off. And I do agree that that scene with her and Yang was definitely a really strong scene when it comes to making Ruby more dimensional as a character.
Definitely. I also I thought it was clever how it was done, where Yang wasn't there when it happened, right? So she was told that it was a Silver-Eyed person, and in her mind, because she's so protective over Ruby, she instantly was like, oh, that could happen to my sister, and it worried her. And when she saw Ruby worried, that's where her head was at, is Ruby's scared, because it's this thing that affects specifically her.
Yeah.
And you actually saw the moment that it clicked in Yang's head that, like, Ruby was actually a step ahead of her.
Right.
And, like, I did think that was really well portrayed, because it came off that way. Like, sometimes in their animation, the sentiment or the emotion
is hard.
It's more
or comes
implied
across
than
wrong.
Direct. Exactly. But that was spot on. It was very clear to me what happened.
Agreed.
And it's well thought out, because, like I said, it makes a lot of sense that Yang would immediately go to protecting Ruby and kind of not think about the trauma of the past.
Yeah. And then obviously that entire scene with Ren and Nora was also great. And of course, it does suck that it's like, after 8 years of Ren not seeing it, he sees it, and then Nora's like, I don't see it. That's a little like, no!
Time.
But
realistically,
but
I'm not even tripping because Ren knows how to be patient and give her the space she needs to develop as herself, and I do think they'll still see each other for each other after that.
Exactly. Because like we know that Ren's not going to blow it because of being impatient, and in addition to that, like I also understand where Nora's coming from at this point in time, and therefore it doesn't feel out of character, so it's not a problem.
Plus, the other thing is that it's not a rejection of Ren. It's actually I
need to figure out me first.
It's more so like, and I don't encourage this, but it's more so like she's mentally rejecting herself so she can, this is the follow through, so she can build a better version. And that I guess we should all go through, but don't be your own worst judge and nightmare either. But like, I see it. Like, I see where she's coming from. And again, it's not a rejection of Ren. She's actually more so just trying to develop herself.
Yeah. And it's crazy too, because like, I feel like that with Ironwood, like when it comes to showing how far gone a character is, there are blunt and there are subtle ways to do it. Because, like, for example, Ironwood shooting down the ships and threatening the blow up mantle, like that shows that he's gone, and it's also a blunt way that's like you can't ignore. However, him shooting Oscar and him trying to shoot Marrow are both, and shooting the counselor. Those are all things that are in the category of those show how much he's fallen from grace, but they're also in a weird category where it's easy for the viewer to overlook them because no one died, and it's a side character.
Yeah, I don't know, man. But Ironwood kind of sucks now.
Yeah.
But at least he's intimidating. I definitely do think that... Again, just talking about, like, they intentionally animate things and they intentionally put sounds in. So I think it stands to reason that Winter was helping Marrow because they put the gun click in and then she immediately punched.
Exactly. Because like she saved Marrow from being shot and then was like, I'll take him to jail, and then neither of them were seen for the rest of the episode.
What's amazing though, although like he didn't say it was on his face, is that Ironwood's like, Winter sus.
Yeah,
like, he kind of know.
But he also chose not to actively fuck with it.
Right. Winter sus, but you could see it in his face.
You could, yeah,
and you know it's gonna be a problem in an episode or two.
Yep. But yeah, definitely a good episode. And what's crazy is that, like, it's definitely hard to say, but like, because we got 3 episodes left, and I honestly would not be surprised at all if like next episode is the Ironwood finale, and then the last 2 episodes are like the Salem finale. But maybe not. I could also see them doing like 12 and 13, or having everything happen at once.
What's weird, and you have to remember, is that I don't think there is a Salem finale. I think we already had it.
That's possible.
I think that the post-credit scene, like the teaser, is going to be Salem reconstituting or some sort of tease to her still being there. But I think we're dealing with Cinder, Watts, Neo. We're dealing
for
with
the next
Ironwood. I think that's
You're
the
right.
rest of the arc.
It's very possible that will just be all of the next 3 episodes. Yeah. But it's also possible that they'll bring Salem back after, when there's like an episode or 2 left.
Post-credit scene.
Yeah. Post-credit scene.
I'm calling
next
it. Right
time
now.
on RWBY
right
Volume 9.
I'm calling it. No.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts, or is we? I know I'm pretty talked out on this. I think it was a good episode overall. I love the character growth from both RWBY and Ren. I definitely can say at this point Ren's my favorite character. He's just crushing it this season. And honestly, he's been, in my opinion, great ever since Volume 4 is when he really started to step into the foreground as a developed character.
Yeah.
And he's had his shortcomings, but haven't they all?
Right. Exactly. Cool. So yeah, I think I'm good on that. So thank you everyone for watching, and hope you enjoyed. And until next time, peace.